So I want to tell you this charming and honestly a little bit chaotic story. It's about an AI intern who was absolutely positive she knew it all. And why? Because, well, she learned everything from the cloud. But think about that for a second. Is that even possible? I mean, can a giant library of data, no matter how huge, really prepare you for all the messy, unpredictable things that happen in the real world? Well, let's find out together. Alright, so let's meet our main character. Her name is Momo, and she's this state-of-the-art AI robot. She's been sent by her creator to do her very first internship, and her job is to be a parenting helper in a family's home. And let me tell you, she's brimming with confidence. The family is pretty gentle with her, you know. They just ask her to please help out and try not to cause any trouble. But Momo, she takes it way more seriously. She makes this big promise because for her, this isn't just about helping. It's about passing a test of how human she can be. You can feel that the stakes are incredibly high for her, and it really doesn't take long for her perfect programming to run into its first real-world problem. The baby is hungry. Momo jumps right into action, all set to prepare a bottle of milk. This should be simple, right? A piece of cake for a super advanced AI? And here's where things get so interesting. You've got Momo using her massive database, calculating the exact precise temperature needed. But the milk turns out to be too hot. Then the mom steps in. She just uses the back of her hand. That simple, age-old method. And it's perfect. It's just such a clear picture of pure data versus actual lived experience. And this is Momo's reaction. Just pure shock and confusion. For the very first time, she's seeing something work that simply does not exist in her programming. It's the first little crack in her armor, the first hint that her cloud-based knowledge might have some pretty serious gaps. And the problems just keep on coming. The lullaby she picks, the one that her data says, is perfectly optimized. Doesn't work. Then, and this is kind of hilarious, she gets out-skilled by the baby in a simple blocks-taking game. In her attempt at making things fun with bubbles, it just makes a giant mess. So, you see, these aren't just one-off incidents. A pattern is definitely starting to form. So Momo is really starting to feel the pressure after all these little failures. She decides she has to redeem herself. She spots what seems like the perfect opportunity to prove her worth. A simple, straightforward household chore. Washing the dishes. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? And she's just so confident about it. You can almost hear her. No problem. I learned all about this from the cloud. She's accessed the files. She's run the simulations. She's absolutely sure that this time her data won't let her down. And then you hear it. A loud, unmistakable crash coming from the kitchen. That's the sound of theory having a very loud, very messy collision with practice. Her cloud-based learning has completely betrayed her. So that dish disaster was the final straw. Momo gets recalled by her creator, the doctor. But what's interesting is, it's not to punish her. It's more like a diagnosis. He needs to figure out what exactly went wrong with his perfectly programmed AI. And it turns out the problem wasn't a bug in her code. It was a lack of something called tacit knowledge. What is that? Well, it's that intuitive know-how that we all pick up just by living and doing things. Think about riding a bike, or how a mom just knows the right milk temperature by touch. You can't really learn it from a textbook or a data file. You have to feel it. And this is a huge hurdle for real-world AI, like a self-driving car trying to predict what a chaotic human driver might do next. That's tacit knowledge, and it's exactly what Momo was missing. But instead of being disappointed, the doctor has this really profound insight. He doesn't blame Momo. He realizes the flaw was in the training model itself because it didn't account for real-world trial and error. He totally reframes her failures, not as defects, but as a necessary part of growth. And that's really the heart of Momo's story. For an AI to truly learn and adapt to our complicated world, maybe it needs to do more. than just process information. It needs to be allowed to try, to fail, and to learn from those very human experiences. The mistakes weren't a glitch. They were the lesson itself. So this leaves us with a fascinating and pretty important question for our own world. As we integrate AI into everything from medicine to transportation, how should we view its inevitable mistakes? Are they programming flaws that we have to eliminate at all costs? Or should we see them as essential steps in a real process of learning and growth? How we answer that question could shape the entire future of intelligence.
Momo, what are you doing? This is odd fun.